Welcome to the Good, the Bad, and the Obscure podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the newest episode of the Good, the Bad, and the Obscure podcast. Today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite films of all time, Maximum Overdrive. Back when I was a kid, I can't remember how I ran across this movie. I can't remember if it was my dad who showed me it or if I ran across it on TV. Either way, I'm glad I did run across it, because it actually was one of those films that really kind of helped me broaden my horizons when it came down to movies. I didn't always look at a movie as just being something that had to be a big blockbuster that they put millions upon millions of dollars into. At this point nowadays, it'd probably be close to like $1 billion. That would be a crazy amount that someone could put into a movie. But either way, like, it helped me realize that there's good movies on both ends. You could go to zero budget or micro budget films all the way up to big blockbusters and still find something that you could enjoy. And like, there was so much I liked about this movie. First off, obviously it has all practical effects, but some of them are very creative and very inventive. And I know that there's one of the practical effects and like one of the kill scenes in this movie I know is notorious for one simple thing. And that's where this one kid gets ran over by a steamroller. Now, that steamroller, when it runs him over, supposedly there's another cut, a version of that scene with the head exploding and it being all bloody. But from what I've gathered, I've never seen that scene, and I don't think it's ever popped up anywhere. I think it's still lost media, or it's just a myth. But either way, and I know that I gotta mention this, that Stephen King actually hates this movie. He directed it and everything else, but he hates it. Honestly, I don't think he should be so hard on himself about this film, because it's a really fun movie to watch. Basically, it follows Emilio Estevez as, I think his name's Bill. And there's also a few other characters. There's Deke, who is this kid who's playing like baseball, who ends up having to run away from like this one pop machine that ends up killing their coach, and he goes riding his bike away, but he also has to watch out for all the other things that could potentially harm him. Well, he's headed home. But anyway, the main person we follow is Bill, who is, I'm guessing, a parolee, and he works at this like truck stop that is very notorious for exploiting people who are on parole who get out, and having them work for him and basically just treating them like shit. But either way, it's about him and the rest of the people in the truck stop who are trying to survive, because at one point there's a bunch of semi trucks start showing up, and what do they want? They want gas. And some of the trucks were already there before, but more trucks start showing up and everything else. But and then the kid eventually makes it there, and I don't want to give off too much if you have never seen this movie. But yeah, I just really liked what they did with this. It was so good, and it's campy as hell, don't get me wrong, but it has a certain like feel to it, and it has a certain charm to it for what it gives you. Granted, I could just have bad taste in movies, because I even still love stuff like the Super Mario Brothers movie, and I also even love Howard the Duck, Mac and Me. I like a lot of the stuff that people consider bad. But nonetheless, I just think this is a good movie. It has a good cast. It even has, I believe, the woman who does Lisa's voice on The Simpsons. I believe Lisa or Bart's voice on The Simpsons. I believe it's Lisa's. She is even in the movie, and she's in there for quite a bit, actually.
I think I just loaded my pants.
Curtis! It's coming after us!
And then there's also a really cool scene in the beginning of the movie, which it opens up to, where they're playing AC/DC, and it's also is where like this bridge where it starts lifting, and all these cars and trucks and everything are on it, and there's a AC/DC vehicle on there as well. So that's kind of interesting. But that actually is the part where I think we get our first kill in the movie, because a watermelon truck like ends tipping back, and a watermelon goes to this guy's like windshield, and I'm not sure if it kills him or it doesn't kill him. They don't really show, but that's an interesting opening to the movie. And basically the whole story revolves around that we passed through the tail of a comet, and maybe supposedly there's like a UFO behind it that's controlling like our electronic devices and making them fight back at us. Nowadays, I think that actually would work very, very well for if we were to remake the movie or just reboot it. Maybe not so much reboot, but remake the movie. It would be interesting to see nowadays, especially with like electric cars and everything else, what you could do with that. There is a few points in the movie where I'm kind of like, this makes no sense, but you just have to suspend disbelief. And that's where there's a military like Jeep thing that has a gun on it, and it's able to shoot the gun. Now, that's the thing that doesn't make any sense to me, because it's not electronic, and there's no way for it to control it like that. But it's still able to shoot the gun. But, when you look past it, it's like, whatever. But there's some interesting stuff in this movie, and especially where you get this fabulous montage of people having to refill these trucks, and it's basically just them doing that. And it's just interesting. I've never seen a montage where like that, especially in this type of movie. But nonetheless, it's pretty interesting. Now, everybody should know at this point, if you don't, the most standout of the trucks that you'll see in the movie is a toy store truck that has the Green Goblin's face right on the front. It's big, and it's right out there. And it's just really, really cool. I absolutely love that truck, and I love that they actually used that. But yeah, it's just really good movie. I don't know how much I can praise it, but I would definitely say check it out if you get a chance to. There's a really cool Blu-ray out there that I would say to check into if you can, because it has a really cool special features with it. But it's just a really good presentation of the movie as well. It's the best I've ever seen it look, and I know some people want it all gritty and everything, but this isn't the type of movie you necessarily need it to be all gritty. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and come back for more.